What comes to mind when you think of England? Football, the Royals, manicured gardens, the lush green countryside, or mushy peas? Google it if you do not know what that mess is. The British Empire, through its vast colonial exploits, has left its mark on the entire world. People used to say that the sun never sets on England, probably because you cannot see it through the constant cloud cover. In this video, we are going to show you the 12 worst towns in England. Please like and subscribe, and let's go. England in all its glory is not all sunshine and roses. Well, there's lots of roses, but no sunshine. In a poll taken about the worst places to live in England, residents pulled no punches when asked why their town was the worst in England. Let us look at the top 12 and what residents have to say about their beloved towns. Number 12. Canterbury. Canterbury residents have a lot to complain about. There was a total of 432 street-level crime incidents in Canterbury in April 2022. Violent crime was top of the list, followed by antisocial behavior. Residents also complained about the lack of pubs, clubs, restaurants, and brand-name shops. Rising crime is the biggest problem in Canterbury, as well as boredom. Number 11. Didcot. With a name like that, what did you expect? Other than industrial accidents and litter everywhere, Didcot has amazingly defunct power station stacks to make the sunsets spectacular. The most common crimes in Didcot are violence and sexual offenses, with 994 offenses in 2021. The main complaint of residents is that there are not enough pubs. Number 10. Bradford. Called Yorkshire's very own Heart of Darkness, Bradford. Bradford is a city of extremes. Extreme violent crime, sexual crime, murder, burglary, drug abuse, and unemployment. According to one disgruntled local, Bradford is hell on earth. The city center resembles a filthy sewer, filled with huge, half-ruined 1960s concrete office complexes, pound stores, arcades, heroin addicts, carjackers, drug dealers, prepubescent mothers, and drunken vagrants arguing with themselves. The unemployment rate has soared to over 25% in the last few years. Another resident commented, "In this city, you will see more flashy cars than in any other city because there is so much drug crime. It's just part of everyday life. Trust me, this place makes Detroit look nice." Number 9. Slough. Named after a snake's shed skin, you know where this is going. Slough, according to residents, has a permeating smell of sewerage all the time. Here are some interesting facts. The highest Reebok Classics per head percentage in the UK. The average age of the mother of the firstborn child? 13. The average number of kids by the time these mothers reach 16? 4.3. The average number of lawfully employed persons per household? 0. Okay, not really, but close. This resident really loves his hometown. If the earth ever requires an enema, Slough is undoubtedly where the tube will be inserted. Number 8. Jaywick. Retiring soon? Want that picture-perfect beach house life? Have a look at the Jaywick property market. If you have never heard of it, it is a shanty village erected on the undercarriage of Clacton-on-Sea, Essex, that makes the worst parts of Blackpool seem like utopia. A coastal community where slumlords live in the Brooklands homes that overlook the beach while renting out shacks to the poor and impoverished. The beach at Jaywick, one of the most beautiful in Essex, is littered with beer cans, cigarette butts, condoms, and other discarded waste. Substance abuse has reduced this area to its knees. Theft and attacks are prevalent. A holidaymaker remarked, "There's a reason why Ross Kemp visited what he dubbed as Britain's toughest seaside resort." Number 7. Corby. Welcome to hell. An unknown graffiti artist wrote this in red on the walls of the Corby bus station. He was correct. As a result of the collapse of the steel sector in the 1980s, it has been given the nickname the unemployment capital of the UK. Recent years have seen it earn the nicknames debt capital and suicide capital of the United Kingdom. Both teen pregnancy and the influx of criminals from the former Eastern Bloc are at epidemic proportions in the town. The title of YOB Capital of England has been bestowed to Corby. A Corby gentleman said this of the lovely ladies of Corby: "Corby women are ugly, have stupid hair, and could compete for the gaubiest Minger Award." Number 6. Bolton. Looking to get your criminal street cred up? Bolton might be the place for you. Bolton's crime rate is higher than the national average by a long shot. With 40,000 criminal cases in 1 year, this is crime central. Beggars are said to be a huge problem due to unemployment. Prostitution is rife in many areas of the town. According to authorities, many of the housing estates are no-go zones due to antisocial residents. When remarking on the dining out options at Bolton, one visitor said, "Some of the takeaways have reached the lofty heights of 1 star for hygiene." Well, see, at least it's not all bad. Number 5. Peterborough. A town that excites and can bore you to death at the same time seems like a winner. The arriving Eastern Europeans are ghettoized into several impoverished, crime-ridden districts in which there is a cycle of reciprocal violence and drug dealing. This has contributed to a significant amount of prejudice among the white community in Peterborough, which in turn makes the situation even worse. As a result, some significant portions of Peterborough have become off-limits after dark. The city has a significant opioid issue, and many people have died because of drugs that have been tainted. Authorities have also warned of a dramatic rise in human trafficking instances in recent years. Many inhabitants' major gripe appears to be that they feel estranged from the rest of the world and that their community is stagnating. A resident pulled no punches with their opinion, saying, "Peterborough should have been destroyed during World War II, but Evelyn, Hitler, and Goering didn't think it was worth bothering with." Number 4. Liverpool. Liverpool is home to one of the most popular football clubs in the world. In this city, their motto rings true: "You better not walk alone." There are more than 1,000 fatalities that may be directly attributed to air pollution each year in the Liverpool city area alone, and the average lifespan of children has decreased by 5 months as a result. When it comes to supplying homes for its lower-income residents, Liverpool has a significant challenge. These low-cost homes have fallen into disrepair and are infested with mold and vermin. The municipal governments oversee and manage these properties. Heroin addiction is also an issue in Liverpool, and the city's problem has reached epidemic proportions. Liverpool's organized crime organizations are said to be engaged in the distribution of firearms, narcotics, and human trafficking. Funnily enough, these problems are not what residents hate about Liverpool. Most of their issues seem to be with their fellow city dwellers. As one person put it, "I cannot put into words just how miserable growing up in this horrid place has been. The people try to grind you and your individuality down because they fear people with more than single-digit IQs and who dress in clothes other than the latest black tracksuit." Number 3. Luton. Other than having the largest radical jihadist population in the UK, what else does this lovely town offer? Extremely bad traffic, rundown neighborhoods, and bad architecture are all characteristics of Luton. The town has a large immigrant population that has turned to selling narcotics due to rampant poverty. Most council housing and the surrounding areas are no-go zones due to violence against outsiders. Teenage pregnancies and STDs are rife with the poorer communities. Luton has also become a hotbed for terrorist groups, including the 7 July London bombers. A pensioner recalled what he saw on the streets one day. "I'm not saying Luton is safe exactly. Only a couple of months ago, I saw about 30 teenagers spilling out of McDonald's, smacking each other in the face. I couldn't tell what blood was and what was ketchup." Number 2. Blackpool. Again, the name says it all. Who wants to swim in a black pool, not knowing where the bottom is or what is at the bottom? No thanks. The local population has the highest smoking rate in the nation, with more than half of the people indulging in this habit. Even up to the point when they check into the hospital to give birth, 1 out of every 3 pregnant women continues to smoke cigarettes. The prevalence of alcoholism is alarming, and the fatality rate from drug usage is on par with that of the poorest neighborhoods in London or Glasgow. On their own, the alarmingly high rates of liver cirrhosis and digestive disorders in Blackpool handle up to 1 year of the town's 5-year difference in life expectancy compared to the rest of England. Another complete year has been accounted for by acts of violence, self-harm, substance abuse, and poisoning. Blackpool has the greatest fatality rate due to drug overdoses in England, while having the lowest life expectancy in the nation. Males have a life expectancy of 68.8 years. Large portions of the town are virtually off-limits because they are under the control of armed drug traffickers who work for county line drug lords. These drug lords use special routes to transport narcotics from major cities to smaller villages. It should come as no surprise that drug use and criminal activity have wiped out Blackpool. Hundreds of people are forced to make their homes in dilapidated, ramshackle bedsits in Blackpool, which were once guest houses and B&Bs. Blackpool is home to 8 of the 10 most impoverished places in all of England. After years of gradual decline brought on by low-cost airline travel, the once thriving resort has seen its annual revenue decrease by millions of pounds. The number of people stabbed in Blackpool is currently greater than in traditionally more dangerous neighborhoods like Croydon, Hounslow, and Bromley, as county lines drug gangs have become more entrenched in the area. The number of stabbings have skyrocketed, and the number of drug users admitted to hospitals here is 8 times greater than in London. A staggering 5.7% of people are now without work in this town. After all the doom and gloom on this list, we've got to our number 1. This one is going to blow your socks off. Number 1. Aylesbury. A few of the town's 58,000 residents made scathing remarks about their hometown, with one stating that newcomers should install barbed wire on their land. A total of 110,000 individuals took part in the poll, and Aylesbury got 25% more votes than its closest competitor. Residents criticized the traffic, the reported prevalence of crime, and even their neighbors. Nonetheless, some of the criticism may be unfair. If you're a middle to upper class family or individual looking to move to Aylesbury, then ensure you employ 4 full-time security guards and a dog and some barbed wire around your house, said one person. Aylesbury has 54.52 crimes per 1,000 residents in the year ending June 2021, which was much lower than the Thames Valley average. Slough, in contrast, registered 104.16 crimes per 1,000 residents. Possibly more legitimate are traffic complaints and the campaign to construct a ring road. As you approach the town of Aylesbury, you meet a traffic bottleneck. One local resident said, "Do not worry, it is all part of the tour." Being delayed in traffic enables you to admire the wonderful beauty of all the scumbags that live there, another respondent said. As with all countries, there is good and bad. We would like to state that this is purely based on polls and other people's opinions. We are 100% sure that there are great people living in these towns. Poverty and the outsourcing of production have caused many of these towns to flounder. We don't think that they are bad. There is worse out there. We just haven't made that video yet. Watch these videos for more. Please like and subscribe,